and welcome back to a new video. So it's the crack of dawn. It's around sort of 6:45 in the morning on Sunday after the amazing Ukrainian firework display. But there was a nasty fire, huge fire at the Carlton House Hotel in Blackpool on the corner of Queen Street, Abington Street North. So we're just going to have a bit of a look of exactly what has happened overnight and what the aftermath is. So come and join me on this one. We're just on that Springfield Road at the moment, and there's many ways to get to this hotel. It looks like Abington Street side, where the library is closed off. You can see the police just in the distance there. And what an awful fire! All of this was closed off, partial on Dixon Road. That was closed off, and all around. But like I said, we're going to see how close exactly we can get to this one. So just on Dixon Road, and if you remember, this one was all cordoned off yesterday, and the cordon is now being lifted, and you can actually walk and drive down. So just a bit of information in regards to this one. So apparently it was acquired in 2015, and like I said, as far as I can tell, or I can remember, shall I say, it's never been occupied. Let me know in the comments, if you ever remember this one open. Did you ever stay in this one? It's always an interesting one. So we're just going to branch off down Queen Street, because I believe we can get a bit of a closer look now at this one. And there's the former job centre on Queen Street. Just at the bottom, like I said, we'll go as close as we possibly can. So there you can see the offices, or the old job centre just to the left, and that's going to be producing flats. And according to the old stats, this one also sold for 61,000 back in 2000, and it sold for 137.5 back in 2004, and like I said, the most recent in 2015. And you can see they've got the units is set up there, the welfare unit, and you see all the tape still around, but this is what remains. So this is what's left of the Carlton House Hotel, and you can see it's a bad one. The whole of the roof has gone. You see the windows completely gone also. And that's just a bit of a shot on Queen Street. You can see from this angle, it's certainly engulfed the hotel. And it started very early, Saturday afternoon, and I believe the fire and everything left very early also in the morning, Sunday morning, so it was here for a number of hours. And just next door to the Carlton House Hotel, we've got the Adelaide. Also, just next door, and just sort of speaking, you can actually hear things just sort of possibly sort of dropping or moving slightly. You see the door is still ajar. So I'd imagine this one will be subject to an emergency demolition, very similar to the Strand Lodge Hotel. And you can see it looks like the Adelaide as well. That will probably be coming down, because you can just see the roof is also being affected on that one. So I'd imagine the whole of this block will be possibly subject for emergency demolition, pending like the structural engineer's report, I'd imagine. So again, just a slightly different angle on Queen Street, and it looks like this is obviously This one is it a different entrance, this one? It must be. So is it like a couple? What's gone? This is the Continental. So yeah, it must be. This one's on Queen Street, and the whole of the roof has gone on this one. The Continental, look at that. Full central heating, TV and coffee facilities. So the whole of this block is had it now. And yes, that must be the separate one, because you never sort of really notice. And so, I mean, how many bedrooms was in here? Probably quite a few. So this one is 22 Queen Street. So this one has gone as well. So I was just speaking to a couple of the officers who's just patrolling the area, just keeping everyone at bay. And apparently they don't know how the fire has started yet. So there will be a huge investigation, I would imagine. And let's just move the camera just to the right, because you can see all the CCTV cameras up there. So I'd imagine, you know, they've got some footage, and that certainly will be looked over through a very sharp eye. You can see there's all the cameras and everything. And looks like the fire brigade has just turned up once again, so I'd imagine they'll be having a chat and just double checking everything's still okay. So this is a great opportunity also to thank all the emergency services. I mean, this happened on the night when Blackpool was absolutely rammed packed with people through the fireworks, and what a busy night that was. Despite the rain, it was absolutely heaving. And like I said, this happened on the very same day. There was thousands of people descend onto Blackpool. So the emergency service cordoned everything off, all the streets, all the alleyways leading to the Carlton House Hotel. So they did an absolutely fantastic job. So a huge hats off to them, as well as risking their lives. So you know, amazing service they did. So a huge thank you to them all. So you can just see one of them have just turned up. This is just Abington Street, just to the right as we pan round to the right, and that one turned up about sort of 30 minutes ago. That fire engine, so I imagine they'll be possibly going in and having a look, see how safe it is, see what presence is needed. So it'll be interesting, you know, will this be subject to the emergency demolition order, possibly like the Strand Lodge? And you see the Central Library just opposite the where the fire occurred. And on the corner, you can see we've got the station pub. That's just on the corner, and we've got the Galleon Bar also, just a few properties away from the fire, and it is very, very early. So we'll keep you up to date with the progress on this one, but I think sadly it will go. You know, what will be in its replace? You know, will there be another building, or will it just lay dormant as a temporary car park perhaps? Who knows? But like I say, we'll keep you up to date. And let's have a bit of a look down Talbot Road. What a difference from yesterday. Not a soul in sight this very early Sunday. And in other local news, the Strand. It looks like we've got burglars. We've got burglars just near the Strand Lodge. And this, look, you see, so the seagulls have got right in these bins, and this is what causes a lot of the mess. So look at that, the bins are completely overflowing there. And this is, like I said, just what the seagulls have done. Look at that, ripping. You actually see him, you know, in a real life, ripping those bins up, black bags over. Look at that. And like I said, this is what causes the amount of mess. Yeah, absolutely, they're little buggers, aren't they? Little buggers, those seagulls. And look who we've came across. He's here, the crack of dawn. That's Stephen Walk on the Wild Side. So what do you think caused it, Stephen? I know you don't want to speculate.
Yeah, it's a funny one really, because it happened on a Saturday afternoon. And normally when you get fires like this, they normally happen later on, don't they? You know, later on in
Yes.
things like that. So it's a bit of a strange one, isn't it? And you would have thought the electric would be cut off, so can't be an electrical fault. So
Who knows? We'll.
well, isn't it? Yeah.
I'd imagine we'll find out in a few days.
Well, the fire service is very, very good at getting to the bottom of things like this. And like you said, we've got cameras watching all over the place, so hopefully they'll be able to find out what started it.
Brilliant. Cheers, Stephen. And you can just see the remains of the tape. You can see where cordons were in place all around this area. Every alleyway, every ginnel, every corner, it was taped off for people. So when you just see, this is just one of the entrances, just to the rear, and you can just see the rear of the building, just in the left-hand side of the picture where the roof has gone. So you can just see the guy there. Looks like he's is it possibly like something to do with the heat, just sort of checking the temperature. Probably sort of lasers will just pop in onto the building. I don't know how that works, but I'd imagine that's what that machine is holding. Checking to see if there's any hot spots, I would imagine, on this one. So we'll just have a walk past the Mitre, Blackpool's very small, or probably smallest pub, and that dates back. And that used to be about 1850s, early records can find, and that used to be a little grocery shop, little greengrocers. How amazing is that one? Look at that small pub, big atmosphere, and it certainly is. That's the Mitre. Like I said, absolutely amazing. You know, when you start delving into the history of some of these iconic places, what they used. I mean, you can't imagine like little greengrocers there, you know, 150 years ago, and that was, I think it was around sort of 1893, the turn of the century. It held its license to become a pub. Absolutely amazing, just to think what that used to be. And then we've got the Rose and Crown, and that one is having a huge facelift, and they've been obviously doing that one up, regenerating that. That's going to look absolutely swish when it is all complete. So we'll have a quick look at that one. And there it is, right in the. This is the great thing about filming very early in the morning, is you got the whole of the town to yourself basically, which is you know, in one respect is fantastic. You know, the other, I suppose you don't get the atmosphere, but you know, you can certainly have a good look around and see what's new, see what's happening. That's the Rose and Crown. You see a complete refurb on that one. So if you did enjoy this video, like I said, give us a subscribe. It doesn't cost a penny, helps the channel out. Hit that thumbs up. Any comments, I will try to get back to you, and we will keep you up to date with all the very latest in Blackpool, including all the events, festivals, as well as local news, demolition projects. There's many of those in Blackpool at present, and also many more. So until next time, look after yourselves, take care. It is a bye from me. Bye bye.